All right, so there's some breaking news that's coming in. This impacts a lot of you watching. The Panama passport is now a associate Mercosur passport. Now, this is huge for a lot of people. Now, this passport comes in two versions, two flavors, right? One is the citizenship-based passport. This is the normal one. You are a citizen of some country, you hold a passport for that from that country. Same way when you become a Panamanian, you're going to hold a citizenship based passport. The second passport, the second version of this is a non-citizenship based passport. This functions the same way technically, but again, you're not a citizen, but you hold a passport from the same country. Now I'm going to discuss how you could quickly, or anyone could quickly, get the non-citizenship based version in the second part. But then what's more important is the citizenship based passport, because now this is a associate Mercosur state. Now, why is Mercosur important? Because it's like the Schengen zone, but in Latin America is. Some very valuable countries make the original members. So it had four original countries. Of course, the famous Argentina, beautiful country, a 2 year citizenship country. After 2 years, you can apply for this nationality. Has Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay. So you have these four original members. Then you had some associate members like Chile, Peru, and now the all important inclusion of Panama. This is the latest development, and the first one to bring this to my attention was a subscriber of mine. And thanks to this guy, and then subsequently, I had a lot of requests regarding content on this topic. So let's first discuss, how do you get the nationality? How do you get on your path to citizenship? How do you get the citizenship-based passport from Panama? First step is the permanent residency, and there's a bunch of ways to get the Panamanian permanent residency, but I'm going to discuss two of my favorite ways. One way is through a bank deposit, right? 300K in a fixed deposit in a bank. If you have a certain type of nationality, you qualify and you can apply for this one, right? The friendly nation visa reduces that requirement by 100K. That's the second one. My personal favorite, that's open to anyone and everyone, is purchasing a property in Panama. Now, this property is your property, so you can rent it, you can live in it. The rental potential is very good because you have Americans, Canadians flocking into Panama all the time. The reason why this particular residency is my favorite is because it's a VIP type of a permanent residency, meaning the three major advantages. One is that you get this in 30 days, less than 30 days in most cases. So it's super fast. They value the fact that you're investing 300K in a property in Panama. This was supposed to end, like all other programs, like all good things end. This was supposed to end in October of last year. They have extended it one more time. So a lot of people are trying to utilize or benefit from this. Again, this is not the only option. There are multiple other ones, but this one is good because 30 days. So you want quick, you have the money. Let's say you're invested in Bitcoin, you have cash, you have just liquidated some of your cash, you have the funds, park it in, get the property, and you can in 30 days get this permanent residency. The second major advantage of the permanent residency here is that it's dateless. So you don't see immigration, you don't go through the hassle of all the crazy immigration trips, like for example at some of the cheaper ones like Paraguay. And then the entry requirements, right? Thirdly, I should say the entry requirement is once every 2 years. So South Africa is once every 3 years. Here you're talking about one trip every 2 years. And Panama is a relatively safe country. It's a beautiful country, uses US dollar as the main currency. You would want to go to Panama at least once in 2 years. And then after 5 years, you can apply for nationality. Now, nationality, of course, requires physical presence, right? You got to have some common sense physical presence. You have your property on one side, you got to hit the minimum physical presence, and then you can apply for the citizenship based nationality. This is important because, again, as I said, this is now a Mercosur associate nation. So it comes with all the benefits and the privileges that you will have associated. Now, you don't have to wait for an Argentina or a Brazil or Chile, right? You can use the Panama route, the more flexible, the more easier, the more straightforward route to get some of the same benefits. Now, this is the citizenship based version. There's a second version, which is a non-citizenship based version. This is a travel passport, as it functions like a regular passport. This is, again, not a citizenship based one. Now, here you have one route of getting this, and this is an exclusive route, right? Here, this is a temporary residency. The way to strike this temporary residency is to generate passive income of $850 a month. So you start a fixed deposit, you should be getting $850 per month through that fixed deposit. And this is the National Bank of in Panama. So it's going to be a secure fixed deposit. So let's say you're holding an FD in your home country, you hold it in Panama, and that makes you eligible for this income. Income is tax-free, of course. It's an interest income, so it's not going to be taxed. It's a territorial system, right? So you have nothing to worry about. You're still earning the same amount of money. It's not going to be taxed, and in return, you're eligible for once you get this temporary residency approved, then you're eligible for this special kind of passport, and your nationality is going to stay the same, right? So if you're, let's say, a Chinese national, or you're let's say a Dutch national, your passport is going to specify that particular nationality that you have, but then of course you're going to carry this Panamanian passport. Now the time frame, right? The lot of people are thinking, okay, how fast do I get this travel passport? Well, this is the fastest thing in terms of a passport that I've heard of, or anyone has ever heard of. I don't think anything is faster than a couple of weeks, right? That's on the upper end. In a few days, you can actually acquire this passport. You need the residency. Once you have the residency, then the passport is literally maximum a couple of weeks. And then you can acquire this, and then you have a second identity. You don't have to wait for your citizenship. Maybe your citizenship is a long-term goal. Maybe let's say you're working on other citizenships, right? Let's say you're doing Mexico or other Latin countries, or maybe you're doing a European citizenship. So while you're waiting for that main citizenship, here you have a quick and dirty travel document, right? It's a passport, so obviously, it's a useful document. Again, when you're traveling, it's always good to verify with the embassy of the country that you're using this in for your eligibility to travel with this, right? It should function in theory as a regular passport, but it's always good to carry documentation from the embassy of the country that you're traveling, especially if you're going to a European country. You want to make sure you're on the safer side. All right, so this is one way to the Mercosur. Now, is this the only way to Mercosur? No, there are four other countries that as I mentioned. One is the Argentina option, right? You get the residency, apply for citizenship in a couple of years, and that way you can get the same benefit. This is a full Mercosur member, so you have some additional privileges. Then you have the Brazil option. So let's say you're getting married to someone in Brazil, or you have a child in Brazil, then this works the fastest in a year. You can apply for your Mercosur full nationality. Paraguay, again, a couple of days of your time inside of Paraguay. In 45 days, we can mail you the residency card at any point in time, right? Any of these residency you want to get started. Panama, we have 3 attorneys in Panama that specialize in different programs, right? So you want an attorney that specializes in a specific area with a specific office. We got that covered. At any point in time you're interested, you can click the link, book a call. We can discuss which one fits best in your situation, and then get you started with the residency either in Panama or any of the other countries, right? We have attorneys in Argentina, in Brazil, in Paraguay, as well as in Uruguay. Uruguay is for a specific type of people who really want to, especially elderly people who, let's say they're a couple, so that reduces their time to naturalization. They want to enjoy a beautiful, rich country. They have the means. So for them, the Uruguay option makes a lot of sense. For offshore banking, the Uruguay jurisdiction is cleaner. So that's for a different sort of segment of market. But let's say you're not looking to physically spend time, you're looking a quick and dirty and a cheap option, then Paraguay. So at any point, feel free to reach us. And before you go, make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you don't miss out on the latest developments and updates to any of the programs. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, make sure you're subbed, and catch you in the next one.